Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on the Way of Wade 8083 Ultra V2, right? So pretty long name, and this is the second version of the 8083 Ultra, and then this is the Ultra version of the regular 8083. And the 8083 has been nice. It's an amazing shoe line, and this shoe retails for 160 bucks. So it is the same exact price as the regular 8083. So it's good that they didn't increase the price, but the 8083 line, or the 808 line, has been absolutely amazing. It's kind of Way of Wade's line for drop-in midsoles, right? And drop-in midsoles remind me a lot of Kobe's, old school Kobe's, like the Kobe 9. This is the elite version. It doesn't even fit in the frame because it's so high. And you know, the Kobe 8, Kobe 9, Kobe 11, you know. So if you guys do want to cop it, try to leave in the free link in the description box. And I brought the Kobe 9 because it reminds me a lot of the Kobe 9. Look, it's a, I mean, okay, so when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it reminds me of the Kobe 9, right? And then I kind of compared them, and the Kobe 9 is actually a lot higher. Look at that. It's like, what, 2-3 inches higher here for the actual height of the shoe, which is kind of crazy, but in a lot of ways it does remind me a lot of the Kobe 9, right? So anyways, let's get it started right off with the tracciones, and the traction pattern is exactly the same as the regular 8083 Ultra, right? So it has this kind of like wavy herringbone traction pattern, and we have some pods that kind of like look like paint, you know, when you put paint in water or something like that. So we have that here in the forefoot and here in the heel, and of course the traction is absolutely amazing. The 8083 Ultra has an amazing bite. This also, the outsole is a little bit different than the regular 8083, has a different outsole pattern, but they're both really good, both top tier tractions, has an amazing bite and all that, right? So if they didn't change the rubber compound, which I don't think that they did, it'll be amazing, right? And now as far as the outdoor use goes, I mean, they're saying it's tough rubber, they're saying it's abrasion resistant for outdoor use, so you should be fine. But like feeling the rubber here where like the kind of like pods are, it feels a little bit thinner, it feels a little bit softer, but there are a lot of grooves, so it should still be fine. But I don't think it'll be the best option for outdoor use because of this part, right? But around that, with the herringbone, the rubber is pretty dang hard. So yeah, I'm sure it'll have top tier traction just like the 8083. And also, if you guys didn't remember, the Kobe 9 had freaking amazing traction as well, top tier goat traction actually. So yeah, Kobe 9 was absolutely amazing. Just wanted to show you guys that. Also, heel to toe transition, pretty much exactly the same. It feels a little clunky here in the heel because there's no actual exposed midsole, right? So this is all just plastic, and we do have a drop-in boom, full-length boom midsole, which is super duper nice. But here in the heel, we have a little bit of clunk, just like in the Kobe 9. You guys remember the Kobe 9 as well. This is all just rubber and plastic. It's a little clunky, a little boot-like. But one thing that I like about the 8083 Ultra a little bit better is that it's has a little bit more of a curved shape, right? So that feels super nice. We have a nice curved shape here in the forefoot and a lot of forefoot flex. It's super smooth, super flexible, so it feels very nice, very smooth, very fluid when you're doing heel dominant strides down the court, just like in the 8083 Ultra, right? So that feels super nice. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. The cushioning setup is exactly the same, right? So we have a drop-in, full-length drop-in boom midsole, right? So we can see there is a kind of like a plate, right? It's plastic, and it kind of encompasses the entire forefoot and comes around into the midfoot a little bit here on the medial side. So we have a little bit more rebound back because boom is actually quite soft, right? But yeah, it's pretty much the exact same drop-in as the 8083 Ultra, and it's full-length boom, very nice for step-in comfort, right? So especially here in the heel, we have a good amount of compression. It's soft, it's comfortable. So the underfoot cushion is really nice here in the heel. There is a nice little offset, there is a nice little drop off from the heel to the forefoot. The forefoot is really thin, right? So it's very low to the ground, very good core feel. It reminds you a little bit of the Kobe 9, right? So the Kobe 9, of course, has a drop-in midsole as well with full-length Lunarlon, and I wasn't a huge fan of Lunarlon. I mean, when you first got it, it's actually pretty dang nice, right? It's soft and all that, but it bottoms out pretty quickly, which I don't like. And also, it feels a little bit flatter actually, right? Here in the Kobe 9, the 8083 Ultra, this has a little bit more of an offset. It's a little bit thicker here in the heel. It feels like the Kobe 9 is a little bit flatter. And of course, once you bottom this out, the impact protection isn't great, right? But anyways, yeah, that definitely is an improvement in my personal opinion with the 8083 over the Kobe, which is the cushion. But it's pretty much the exact same cushioning setup as the regular 8083, right? And now moving on to the upper. So the upper in the V2 is actually an improvement in my personal opinion over the regular regular 8083 Ultra, right? So the 8083 Ultra has a super duper thin mesh material and it has a little bit of overlay of fuse in it, right? And it's a very, very thin fuse. So it's a really thin material, but for 160 bucks, it doesn't feel like the best for quality. However, it doesn't feel super cheap or anything like that, right? And it's supportive and all that, but it doesn't feel like it'll be very durable, right? Because it is a thin material, especially in like the 8082 and the 8082 Ultra V2. But here in the 8083 Ultra, we have actually a nice material. It's kind of like a knit actually, right? A knit mesh kind of. We have a synthetic material going around the tip of the toe box for extra durability and support, which of course is super nice. And then also underneath this knit mesh, we can see another mesh material, right? Through this kind of like hexagon cutout. So there's another underlaying mesh, but it's still thin. It's still a really thin material. It feels supportive and feels a lot more quality, and also it feels like it'll be more durable than the regular 8083 Ultra. So if you want a more durable upper, then obviously this will be a better option. And also it's the same price, right? Also, another thing that I really like about the shoe is the exposed Flywire, right? So Flywire, of course, is owned by Nike, or the saying, but it reminds you a lot of Flywire. And the laces go through only the Flywire here for this eyelet, right? It doesn't go through the upper, which I think is great. And also here in the midfoot area, we have a very nice stretchy kind of knit material, as you guys can see right here, right? And then of course we have the tongue coming up, and it is pretty dang long, and it's also a very thin tongue. There's no padding, it's just a knit material, which feels nice. And basically this is all just one booty, and then the tongue kind of like at the top detaches a little bit from the upper. And also we have this very nice, it's a pretty stretchy knit material for this high top collar, which feels very nice. Reminds you a lot, of course, of the Kobes, but the Kobes are a lot higher. But yeah, in terms of how it feels, they both feel very similar, right? It is pretty glued down here in the Kobe 9. The 8083 Ultra V2, it doesn't seem really as glued down, but it feels just as supportive, right? And also we have carbon fiber. We got carbon fiber here in the Kobe 9 Elite High, and also here in the 8083 Ultra V2. So we have carbon fiber on the sides and also on the bottom of the shoe, which is very nice premium touch. We also have this external TPU heel counter, which is pretty much the exact same as the regular 8083 Ultra. Right, so that's pretty cool. One little difference, I guess, is this circle right here, or this oval. The carbon fiber color changes, I guess, and this looks amazing. I love the carbon fiber here. It's like black with some red threads through it. But here in the regular 8083 Ultra, we just have one piece of carbon fiber, right? That's a little bit of a change, and also we do have the same window on the medial side. So you can see your sock, I guess, or your foot through this window, and also you can see that it is a drop-in full-length boom setup, just like in the regular 8083 Ultra. So definitely the upper seems like an improvement. It feels more durable, it feels way better for quality as well, and I do like the knit material. And also, this doesn't really hinder ankle mobility as much for me personally right now. Obviously I haven't played in it. You know, I was moving around my ankle a little bit and still felt pretty good. So it just has a little bit more support here over your ankle bone, which I do like as well. So it's the same price, right? And the material feels a lot better, which of course is the main difference, right? And now moving on to the fit, I went up half a size, and it does run a little bit long. So if you guys don't want that, then definitely do go true to size. And if you go true to size, you should be fine. The length should be good. Also here in the toe box, it is a pretty snug fit, and width-wise, I would say it's around normal to slightly wide actually, probably because I did go up half a size. But if you want a pretty nice snug fit, then go true to size. If you want a little bit more roomy, then go up half a size. And because of the texture, right, you know, the drop-in boom midsole, the texture grabs my sock really, really well. So I feel like if this was a regular shoe without that drop-in midsole, I would not like the longer fit, right? But because of the texture and because of how it kind of grabs my sock and grabs my foot, because of the texture on the drop-in midsole, it feels really nice and secure, right? So I don't mind that kind of like longer length. So anyways, there's that. And now moving on to the support and lockdown, I mean, it feels like it'll be very good. I mean, look at the lateral counters, look at the synthetic material, of course, right? So that'll definitely help. This part is pretty dang supportive and stiff. We also have this Flywire. We have the plastic coming up, acting in the sidewall here in the forefoot as well. Here in the midfoot, same thing. We have the logo. We have the synthetic material as well. And then here in the heel, we have this plastic cage with the carbon fiber. So yeah, lateral containment should be good, and also it is a very wide base, so it should be laterally stable, and there is a little bit of ankle support. Like I said, the ankle mobility is pretty good for me. It doesn't really restrict ankle movement that much, but it also does improve the lockdown because the material comes up a little bit higher on your heel, right? So support and lockdown feels even better than the regular 808-3 Ultra, even though the 808-3 Ultra was still very good, right? And now moving on to the weight of the shoe, I feel like it'll be around like 13 ounces maybe, right? A little bit heavier than average. Yeah, 13.7 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 13.7 ounces, right? Let's compare that to the Kobe 9 Elite High. 13 ounces, right? So it's a little bit heavier, but it does have better cushion, of course, right? But yeah, it feels very similar to the Kobe's, but like I said, with better cushion, which of course is a good thing. And now moving on to the aesthetics. Oh my goodness, guys. I thought this shoe looked good. The regular 808-3 Ultra, this I thought was amazing, but I feel like this shoe definitely kills this shoe, and it looks a little bit better, right? In my personal opinion, the high top looks great. I love the old school kind of like flywire, you know, the exposed flywire looks absolutely amazing. Kind of brings you back to like the early 2010s, you know what I mean? And you know, kind of reminds you a little bit of the Kobe 9 Elite High, which I'm sure a lot of people will agree with. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yes, I love how Way of Wade is giving us V2s. I love V2s, you know? It kind of reminds me of Elite versions from Nike. And do you guys remember Elite versions, Elite shoes? I definitely do miss that. I love how a Way of Wade, though, isn't increasing the price. Remember, Nike used to be like, oh, this is the KD, what? 5 or whatever, and the Elite would be like $40 more. That would be insane. And then there would be a Nike ID version of the Elite, which would be another like $40 more, right? But anyways, I love how it's the same price, but it feels a lot more premium. I love the high top design. I love the upper as well. And it feels a little bit more durable too. So yeah, I mean, this was a really nice shoe, and they made it even nicer for the V2. And I feel like they kind of got a little bit of inspiration from the Kobe 9, which of course I do love, right? So my first impressions of the 808-3 Ultra V2 are really good, and I'm super duper excited to try these out. Again, if you guys do want to cop a, try to leave in a free link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.